Yo guys, how you doing? I wanted to start with reaction videos, and the first suggestion I got for a reaction video is to give a reaction video on React, the programming language. This suggestion came from my brother, Sim. Shout out to Sim. Thank you for the suggestion, brother. Because React is a coding or a programming language, and yeah, it has the name React. So there you go. I'm looking through the options here, and they're all quite long, like full-on tutorials. This is a coding interview, so I'll go to the top of the list. I filtered it by most watched, but they're long or not applicable. Curious about this game though. Let's see. I can just switch my topic. They made React great again. Okay, this is a short one. See if it's any good.
A few days ago, a shocking new blog post from the React.js team dropped. As a React hater, I hate to say it, but they fixed React. I tried to let the
Okay, so apparently React was damaged. Lots of quick cutting already straight from the get-go. Here we can see a reference to Star Wars. Um, well, well found. Also a nice image put in with the grumpy cat. God bless him. Okay, let's see.
hate flow through me, but the React team made some brilliant moves that will dramatically improve the developer experience.
Okay, this is what React is. I can't. E-setup? Node what? They don't match up at all. I can't set up node environment help. Okay. I would have thought it would be an acronym. I don't understand why Mario's on the picture either. So just to ensure to you, dear viewer, I have no clue. I know what React is, but I don't have never worked with React. I've worked with other programming languages a little bit here and there for test automation, but never with React. So excuse my misunderstanding if you are an expert in this field yourself. I hope I don't butcher this too much. I have 7 years experience as a software tester, but yeah. Um, let's just put it this way. I sometimes find it hard to find the right words.
February 26, 2024, and you're watching the Code Report. Speaking of jQuery, one thing that you may have missed is that after nearly a decade of anticipation, jQuery just announced version 4.0.
I wonder who was anticipating that though. I never saw anything on the news about big anticipation for jQuery, but might just be me. I question this amount of anticipation.
It got rid of a bunch of stuff made obsolete by the JavaScript language itself, dropped IE11 support, and migrated to ES modules.
That's probably good. Like Internet Explorer sucks big time. Anywhere, anytime. Oh my God, this is a horrible picture.
Solid performance improvements, but most importantly, it will simplify the code we write as developers. Currently, React code is pretty ridiculous compared to frameworks like Vue, Svelte, and Solid. Like imagine we have
Okay, this was a comparison that totally went over my head.
To address this, React provides a hook called useMemo. Memo means memoization, which itself means remember. It wraps
You also get a little bit of a language lesson in Latin. Handy if you were looking for that kind of thing when you decided to watch a React video.
the computation in another function, which will only run when the state that it's dependent on changes, which has to be
Give me a break, man. I see why the other videos are 5 hours and this one is 4 minutes. It tries to explain too much as far as I'm concerned. Like I've heard of a compiler, but he goes over quite a lot of concepts in programming languages like it's nothing. You got to take your viewer into account. So yeah, this is of course for a very specialized crowd. And I see no way that I can make this more accessible, to be honest.
its own compiler, it means hooks like useMemo and useCallback are a thing of the past. And that's huge because not only is the code ugly as hell, but it also removes the mental boilerplate of asking the question to memoize or not to memoize. And they confirmed my conspiracy theory that React intentionally
React is a psyop? Okay, so now we got into conspiracy theories all of a sudden. Okay, so here it's suggested by, I presume, a developer of React that they add APIs, so certain functionality. a port, so to say, to your software, but then remove them later for credits, kudos. But it's not true.
Adds bad APIs like this just to look like geniuses when they remove them later on. But
yeah, I should have really been a developer for giving proper reaction to this. But since I've been a software tester, I can say some things about it, which is that, as we used to say in the first company I started, you need to be the bridge between the business and the development, because the development doesn't know how to explain things in terms that a layperson can understand what the hell is being talked about. And the business cannot explain themselves in such a way that what they want, how that has to be described in code. So even though it's like a marriage, an unhappy marriage though, sometimes. And so as a software tester, you are the marriage counselor. You are saying like, okay, business, tell me what your problem is. And then I'll talk to the developer in such a way that he or she will understand what it is that you want and build it. And preferably you put them in a room together and you are there giving live marriage counseling. You don't want to be the messenger in between, because then it just takes time and people get pissed off at you for a good reason, I think, if the project takes longer because of that. So yeah, be a facilitator and not just a message portal. Don't be a human API. There's a joke for you.
Is server actions. You can already use actions in Next.js, and many have described the developer experience as being like PHP but without Lambos. The general idea, though, is that React handles the...
Okay, I don't understand what PHP and Lambos have to do with each other. Or is it lambdas? I don't know. Maybe that's a word joke that I'm not developer enough to understand.
The data submission cycle for you from client to server and then back again. What's cool about this is React provides hooks.
If anyone is wondering, I'm wearing a Campion, which means champion shirt, orange shirt, because today the Netherlands is playing the semifinals. So I'm already prepared for supporting them. I'm still half a day away.
Hooks like use form status or use form state to easily handle the data in a form, but then alongside that you have hooks like use optimistic to get that ultra fast Firebase like feel on any backend database.
So still a question whether this guy that was just shown is actually real or has been image generated or edited. So I don't know. I don't want to look it up. So if anyone can put it in the comments, thank you.
The UI updates instantly based on the expected change, then in the rare case it fails, it reverts back. But another thing that sucks about React is working with promises. In React server components like in Next.js, you can use async await to fetch data directly in a component. That's awesome, but you can't do it.
What is horse Tinder? Like here it says
in a client-side component.
Sorry. What does that mean? Is that like horses can't swipe, right? I mean, or can they? Or would they need a human to do that? And then the horse would like make a sound twice or step its foot on the floor twice, and then it's a yes. If it does it once, then it's a no. There was a guy who went around with his horse and he said like, my horse can count. So he would throw 2 die on the floor, and then the horse would go with his right hoof until he had the right number. And the guy actually thought that the horse could count, but it was just that every time his reaction was at the right number, he had a certain reaction of like, wow, such surprise that the horse made it that far, that the horse would stop. So the horse was just trained to listen very well to the signs, the body language of his owner. Still doesn't explain the horse Tinder though.
And you still can't in React 19, but you can use the use hook, which is the next best thing. It works on both promises and React.
Use hook? I think this is wishful thinking for a lot of developers.
Context, which means it makes the use context hook obsolete, because unlike use context, use can also be used inside of loops and conditionals. But using use allows you to use the value of a resolved promise directly in the UI. Now, a promise is
so a promise always needs to be kept also in React.
Synchronous, and its value is initially pending, so you can handle the loading.
Here we have a fucking, sorry, here we have a freaking horse container. So first he did some swiping, he found the right horse, the right match, and now it's being contained and shipped off to the other horse, so he can do their time.
As a civilized society, it's about time we decide
Civilized society. And showing this type of picture. That's sarcasm, I presume.
on the one true framework, Angular. Then we build that framework into the browser to put an end to this bloodshed once and for all. This has been the Code Report. Thanks for watching.
Well, yeah, that's very enlightening. Especially the end. That this video, and probably this reaction video as well, is completely worthless because we should switch to Angular. Oh well, it was fun. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Ciao.